Get ready with me for my acting class while I talk about whether you should take an acting class. I'm pretty sure you know my answer based on that title, but I digress. I've been acting since I was in high school, and for the majority of that time, I never took a single acting class because I think there's this perception, specifically with the arts, that you either have it or you don't. And that's what I also thought for the longest time. And I think that narrative is really perpetuated by the media because I feel like you always hear these stories about this actor or this actress who just walked into an audition or they got scouted on the street and somehow they got like an Oscar for their performance. But the reason why you hear those stories is because they're really rare. Most actors and actresses have put in a lot of time to develop their skills, you know? And the moment that I took an acting class, I realized that there was so much for me to learn out there. There's different acting styles, you know? There's different ways to convey emotion in a more natural way. And that's not even scratching the surface. There's so much to learn. Another reason why I recommend acting classes is because you get to figure out if you actually like acting. I feel like it's very easy to fall in love with the idea of acting, but once you try it out, you might realize that you don't actually like it at all. And I feel like taking a class is the easiest way to figure out if you actually enjoy this whole thing. The thing is, you could probably get away with not taking an acting class for a long time. You know, you might book a role or you might book a couple of roles without ever taking an acting class. But in my experience, at least, I hit a cap, you know, where I felt like I needed some guidance in order to surpass that point. And when I started working with different coaches and teachers, they would give me tips on how to interpret a script that's completely different than how I would have thought to interpret it. But it's always a very interesting take on it. And I think a lot of casting directors really value that. You know, these people are usually sifting through thousands of auditions, especially for bigger things. And I feel like you really stand out when you give an audition that is really different than what they were expecting. Also, it's really nice, I think, to be in acting classes because you get to meet people who are interested in the same thing that you are, and you get to build a little community of other actors and actresses. So TLDR, take at least one acting class. All right? Hope this helps.